Exponential functions. Part 4. Sign table of expressions with exponential function. First, revision. To set the sign table of a linear function ax plus b, we find the root minus b over a, then we write opposite same. Also, if you have a quadratic function, we know how to set the sign table. This depends on delta. If delta equals to 0, we have double root, same as a 0, same. If delta is negative, the function takes the same sign of a. And if delta is positive, we have two distinct real roots, and the function takes the sign, same sign as a, opposite sign of a, and same sign of a. Sign table of expression with len. For example, len x minus 3. We suppose that len x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Then len x is greater than or equal to 3. So len x greater than len e3, then x is greater than e power 3. So the function is positive from e3 till plus infinity and negative from 0 till e power 3. Now we want to study the sign table of expression with exponential function. For example, f of x equal ex minus 5. In the same way as we studied the sign of expression with logarithmic function, we study the sign of expression with exponential. So we suppose that ex minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0. And we solve this inequality as we studied in PowerPoint number 3. So it is ex greater than or equal to 5, ex greater than e ln 5, so x greater than or equal than 5. So the function is positive from ln 5 till plus infinity, and it is negative from minus infinity till ln 5. Second example, f of x equal 3 minus e power e minus x. Also, we suppose that 3 minus e minus x is greater than or equal to 0. Then e minus x less than or equal to 3. That is e minus x less than e ln 3. That is minus x less than ln 3. So x is greater than minus ln 3. So this function is positive from minus ln 3 till plus infinity, and from minus infinity till minus ln 3 it is negative. Special cases: if you have the function e minus x plus 2, e minus x is always positive and plus 2 is always positive, then this function is always positive. F of x equals minus ex minus 8. Minus ex is negative and minus 8 is negative, so this function is always negative. Example, solve the following inequality: 2x minus 6 times ex minus 1. Here we have product of two factors, so we must use sign table. Regarding 2x minus 6, this is a linear function, so it is easy to set the sign table of 2x minus 6 by applying the rule opposite same. While for ex minus 1, we must study the sign of this expression, so we suppose that ex minus 1 is positive, that is ex greater than or equal to e0, that is x greater than or equal to 0. Then we set the sign table. For 2x minus 6, it is opposite same. Ex minus 1 is positive when x is greater than or equal to 0. We multiply minus times minus equal plus, minus times plus minus, and the plus times the plus equal to plus. Now, Here 2x minus 6 times ex minus 1 less than or equal to 0. This inequality is less than 0 between 0 and 3, so the solution is x belong to 0 and 3. Last example, 2e2x minus 7ex plus 3 greater than 0. 2e2x minus 7ex plus 3 has the form of 2t squared minus 7t plus 3, which is a quadratic function that can be factorized into 2t minus 1 times t minus 3. Then we get 2ex minus 1 times ex minus 3 is greater than 0. Now we study the sign of each factor. First, if 2ex minus 1 greater than or equal to 0, as before, we get that ex greater than half, that is x greater than ln half. Similarly, for ex minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0, which gives that x greater than or equal to ln 3. We set the sign table, we multiply the signs, we want the function 2e2x minus 7ex plus 3 to be positive, then the solution is between minus infinity ln 5 and ln 3 plus infinity.